What did you say?
Well Mudda Sick Dread.
What?
Well Mudda Sick Dread.
So how are we starting this again? Well Mudda Sick. Well Mudda Sick. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of Well Mudda Sick, coming to you right back on the Original People Network. You know, like always, we always say, if you feel free to sponsor this show, any other show, whether it be 12 Cartoons, Well Mudda Sick, Everything Cool, or just in this space, because welcome to Chosen U Studios as well, all the way in the breeze. Let us know. Email us at theoriginalpeoplenetwork@gmail.com or slide in our DMs. Facebook, Twitter, @/X, TikTok, and I believe we're on Snapchat, Threads, all of that. For more of this great content. So, it has been a while since I've done a Well Mudda Sick episode, and as always, I like it because it's my introspective episode. Well, introspective show where I don't have a guest, no co-host, just me and my thoughts, and you listening right now. Something I've been wanting to speak upon for the last probably like five years, but what I've recently been adopting is figuring out ways how to tell people no, which ultimately has led me to having a more stress-free life, because I'm incorporating less stress. And part of that is not taking on the stresses of other people. Now, let me tell you, take you along the journey in which how I came to this point. First, it was more so me, I guess, before you even address the stresses that you have with people, you have to understand the stresses that you put on yourself. So that comes with a lot of self-development, a lot of different, understanding yourself, figuring out what makes you tick, what makes you happy, understanding what is truths that you tell yourself, and understanding what are lies that you tell yourself. And a lot of these things I've discussed since 2019 on Well Mudda Sick, what my journey in this, trying to understand this thing called life, to where within recent years I feel like I've gotten peace within myself, taking away expectations, taking one day at a time, understanding what is in my power to control, and giving God the rest. But after that journey, what I started to realize is, as I've sewn together the different things within myself, I had to look outward. Like, why am I still feeling certain feelings? If I've done all this work and growth within, then I realized that I was pre this, I was allowing people to stress me out. Whether it be family, friends, co-workers, work environment, other factors that I can't control. And what I've been doing, what had started about almost 3 years ago now, is a little bit of separation from, I guess, everybody that I knew. Obviously, that's due to where I work currently. But I think that was a gift and a curse in itself. Because with that separation, it allowed me to see who is who and what they always need. I'm in shock that I became this go-to person. Where, because human beings have such an unreliable nature to themselves, when people find capable, reliable people who answer the call 9 times till Sunday, you are highly sought after and favored. And when you always want to be kind and honest, people sort of take advantage of that. And we always have this fear of being the bad person. I threw that away long ago. I embraced my villainy. I don't want to be a hero in nobody's life. I either want to be left alone, or if you asking for fire and smoke, I'm gonna give you fire and smoke. But in order to protect myself and then to protect my mental capacity and what I can do in my happiness, I will be a villain, regardless, no matter who it is. It's like I spoke about in my Dr. Doom episode, which I think aired 2021, about embracing your inner villain. As well as I think my second episode on Well Mudda Sick, where I sort of chronicle the story of Darth Vader. I've taken the hand that I was dealt with. I figured out how to best use it to where I became this force. So after that, now it's protection mode because I've done the work to make my life easier, and you're about to make my life harder because you haven't done that work. See, human nature, what I've found is most people talk a good game, but they ain't really about anything. They would preach the need for change and how they're gonna better themselves but not conform to it. So, me recognizing these things, I just make the appropriate decision. For instance, friendships that no longer serve me, I don't chase them no more. And even if there's situations where they're active and I see there's no need for you anymore, I start to distance myself away from you. And it's nothing personal. It's just that at some point in life, our paths crossed. And we were at this crossing point for a moment, a season. But as I went this way and you went that way, I wasn't trying to double back. Now we might cross again, but it is unfair to me that when I've brought in stability and understanding and peace to my life, that I have to deal with your unstable self. Now I'm praying for you to find the peace that you need, to find the understanding, to get the healing that you rightfully deserve. But until then, I cannot be a casualty. You can't put your stress on me. And this goes, same thing for organizations that I may have been previously affiliated with, currently affiliated with it, or in the future being affiliated with. If you have dysfunctional qualities, or obviously I have this tendency of being a fixer, always foreseeing the problem, but I will also provide the solution, which a lot of people tend not to do. They always like to complain about the problem but not provide the solution. If I'm in a situation, I give solutions to the problem and they're not acted upon, then I did my job. I can't bear the burden of trying to be a superhero when I'm just a regular person. And I always like to say this. Yes, I cosplay superpower beings of many proportions, but I am just a regular man that lives a regular life, puts on his pants one leg at a time, and tries to get at least 5 to 8 hours of sleep per day. That's it. I can't perform. I'm not Jesus Christ. So I'm not trying to save you. I'm not trying to be your savior. I might have done spectacular things, but I'm not your savior. I might be a high-level thinker, but I am not your savior. I might provide you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding over situations, but I am not your savior. So, if you see that I mean, I'm a straight up person. And I've learned that once you always speak your mind, people can never hold that against you. Once you always tell your truth, and people you don't leave people guessing, oh, what kind of mood this person in, yada, yada, yada. Once you have that more so sort of covered, then everything is up. When you speak, people listen and take it in, and whether they respect it or not, you decide on how you're gonna operate from that point. But my advice to people is always let people know how you think and feel. Because then, and then also the most important part is to set boundaries. Because when you set those boundaries and you always are transparent on how you feel, then people will know how to operate with you. People will know how to navigate with you. Obviously, you be respectful in your approach in every situation. But there's no guessing game and there's never no hard feelings. So when I'm feeling stressed out in a situation, I shake that off me. I don't know what it's been about these last 6 months. Because I remember dealing with family. When I used to hear certain things spoke upon, or they're talking about things or complaining about things, I used to be like, but now it's just rolled over my shoulder. Like I even read that, it's like, okay, I understand. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older and I'm just like, I can't change it, I can't do nothing about it, so why complain about it? You know? Maybe it's the healing. Maybe it's just the journey that I took many years ago, and now I'm at the crux of I ain't really worrying, I'm just trying to be happy. I don't know. But I do know that a lot of people struggle with, I guess, being the conduit for a lot of other people's problems and taking that on yourself. And I told my own mother this. I'm like, stop doing it. You have to let people make their own decisions and their own mistakes. And when they do, yeah, you could be the helping hand, but sometimes you got to let people fall and burst their head open. Let them learn. Let them get cuts. Because at a certain point, when you become an adult, you have to take accountability for your own actions. You can't always call on someone to always bail you out of your situations and your problems. And that's why there's so many people who are grown adults still stuck in a teenage mindset. And that's why society is where it is, and that's why people are sheeple and it can be easily manipulated and controlled. Because if you're always asking and looking for an extended hand, that means you will always be dependent on that hand, and that hand can dictate and mandate whatever they want to you. So I say all that to say, it was something else I was supposed to add to that. But I say all that to say is that by 2024, we literally in the 6th month, half of the year done over. Half of the year is already over. Now it's time to take stock and reflect on what you have done so far for this year. Have you always been consciously, because part of a lot of New Year's resolutions what people make in December going into January is, whether it be to lose weight or be more financially successful or whatever the case may be, it's more so comparative goals. You see someone else do something and you would like to attain whatever goal that is. Or everybody talking about entrepreneurship and self-development, things like that. And that might be something that you have aimed to do, but along the way, you lost your way. But I do know in some of your decisions and resolutions, peer pressure is involved. And we all feel peer pressure. But I want to peer pressure into you is not taking on that stress. Make your life stress-free. And if anybody trying to put too much in your plate, just take your plate and scrape it off in the garbage. You've been finished eating. So you don't need seconds, or you ain't need nobody sloppy seconds. hey, I'm not taking that on to me. I'm living a stress-free life. Take it from me. Ain't nobody stressing me. When I wake up in the morning, I do what I can do. If I can't be done that day, it'll just happen the next day. But I try to do exactly what I need to do on that particular day. I try to maximize the day. But if you have, I just want to send a message. If you have lost sight of your New Year's resolutions, jump back on. It ain't never too late. And it is never too late to make a change. Even though that change might not be seen for some point in time, but you have to start anyway. Just like me. I felt like I was stressing myself I felt like I was stressing myself too much at some point. Then I felt like people were stressing me out at some point too much. And guess what? I eliminated both. It's just a slow peeling back the layers of everything that you're involved with. Understanding what is priority and what isn't. What feeds you and what doesn't. What gives you adds to your life and what takes away. And simplify. I think when we start off as children going into young adults, our lives are complicated because we're trying to find who we are. But as we age, we try to find the simplicity. Because simplicity brings stability. Because if you could understand it in management, then everything can be cool. But if your life's still chaotic after a certain age, then it's like, bro, we don't have that much time on this earth. We only have one chance to get this all right. And sometimes we may die and never get it right. But we got to just do the best that we can do. And that starts with low down your stress. Find a hobby. See God. Find your divine purpose. And then everything else will be added to you. I remember I used to be depressed. I have anxiety issues. Stressed out from work. And then always somewhat frustrated of, I want to attain this, but I'm at this level. But I find the more and more I just allow God to take control over everything and work things out and let my work and my actions speak for itself, things slowly been coming together. But I ain't gonna lie, like 2024 at points been stressful because, life happens, but there's been some advancements. There's been hope, and I feel very hope. I feel good inside about something good is about to come my way. And I just see things lining up. But I'm not getting too anxious. I'm not getting overly overthinking, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just enjoy the moment. And at the same time, keeping things simple. Kiss. Remember, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. And everything will be okay. Well Mudda Sick. Thank you again for watching another episode of Well Mudda Sick. I get really, really better at these because I don't be writing notes. I just be going off of how I feel and how I think. And it's just already 20 minutes in and you then at the end of this talk. But again, this episode and this podcast is powered by Chosen View Studios as well as Create Tech Bahamas. Links in below for all those different needs, whether it be production or installing cameras and other surveillance technology. But we only getting better. Like it may have taken a long time, but my goodness, I feel like I living off the fruits of my labor, and I need to put about 5 to 7 years in. Imagine when I keep on pressing forward, pouring into people's lives, being a good person, serving God, following my divine purpose. How much more fruits of life that I would have to eat upon, enjoy. But don't let them people stress you out, babe. Don't stress yourself out. Most importantly. And then we can see you next time on Well Mudda Sick. And hopefully I can make these more a little bit more frequent. But until then,